Hello. What you been playing lately? Can you hear me? Is my mic on? Playing Monster Hunter. That game was okay. There's a lot of things I hated about it, though. Monster Hunter's alright, I guess. I don't think it's as amazing as everybody else says, but... You know me, I have weird taste in games sometimes. It's just got on my nerves. I don't remember how to do supers. Like not. Why don't they tell you the move list? Monster Hunter just feels stiff, unresponsive. I got tired of my guy just being stuck in animations all the time. I didn't like it that much. I got my money's worth out of it. It's just like, I don't know. It's not terrible, it's just there's other stuff I would play over Monster Hunter. The next one's probably going to be even slower. They're going to slow it down again because people like slow combat. I don't understand it myself. I like when I push the button and the character does what I tell them to do, not when they feel like it.
皆様に調べていただきたいことがございます。
Monster Hunter World, I couldn't even try that game because they kept talking so much. Like, they kept talking so much. I got really tired of it. It's like the first half hour, I didn't even get to like try the game. They kept talking and talking and talking. I'm like, dude, like, who plays this for the story? What sane person plays Monster Hunter for the story? I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but I never even wanted to try it. I'm like, can these people, like, stop talking and let me play the game? They have to talk, like, so much. It's crazy how much they talk. The thing about Monster Hunter's story is that it's kind of like, it doesn't make much sense. You have to have a lot of suspension of disbelief because in like Monster Hunter stories, not the game, but like the stories in Monster Hunter games in general, you're not actually killing like 800 monsters. Like there's only like 1 or 2 tops. There aren't just like infinitely respawning monsters all over the place. It's not like that at all. That's what's weird about putting so much emphasis on it, is like... Like, when you kill those big dragons, that's like it. They don't come back. But then, like, you know, in the gameplay, of course, they have the respawns. It's like, it's weird. It reminds me a lot of, DFO. You know, DFO will go tell you, like... Remember when they made a big deal out of Lotus in that game? And they're like, you know, you need to take down Lotus. He's ruining everything. And then you kill him, and then you immediately go back in, and it has some stupid reason why he's back. It's like, it's really hard to care. It's really hard to care. Because it's like the gameplay and the story are at odds with each other. DFO is like that too. You kill like a big boss and they just come back. You go back in and you kill them again. It's like, well, what sense does that make? He's clearly dead. Punched her, kicked her, slashed her, hurled magic at them, and they exploded. And then the NPC goes and tells you to do it again. It's like, okay, that makes no sense. He's clearly dead. I feel like God Eater, Tokiden do the story a lot better because there's not as much of that. Because in Tokiden, they're like actual demons, so outside of like the final boss, you know, there's multiple of them. Basically like Hellspawn, you know, Japanese Hellspawn. It's like, okay, you know, I've cut this spider in half like 30 times, but, you know, it makes more sense. But in Monster Hunter, it's like, oh, this monster is destroying the ecosystem, you need to go take care of it. But then you go back in and you do it again. It's like, well, what did I accomplish? That's the interesting thing about Monster Hunters. They're actually like wildlife in a way. The game makes it seem like there's just one of them, but because of gameplay, there can't be just one. You're not gonna make a monster go through the effort of making a monster and then just never respawns. I think the story is pretty much always just this monster is fucking up the ecosystem, so go kill him and then come back. So it's like hard to care. But World was going for Dude Bros and Normies, so they felt that they needed to have more story. It's just that they're so full of themselves they couldn't let you skip it. Tokiden, it's pretty much, there are very few, like, singular demons in that game. Pretty much just, like, the final boss. You know, of course they give you, like, a level where you can go refight them, but, like, that thing was, like, actually the king. I barely remember the story. I did read all the story in that game. It was pretty good. But it, like, made more sense. Wouldn't really make sense for there to be like one demon spider. You know, they're like basically just demons, so make more sense like, okay, you need to go kill 3 of them.
様のご命令だ。奴らを蹴散らすぞ。やらなきゃよかったな。ここが貴様らの墓場よ。ダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。次こそやらなきゃダメ。我が知略でお前を倒す。敵将討ち取った。
I think DFO is the worst. I specifically remember a quest in DFO. Now, this was like at the beginning of the game when Lotus and Behemoth was like a big part of the story. And like, oh, you need, this is the final battle. And you kill Lotus, and then the NPC's like, oh, do it again. It's like, dude, I just did that. Like, what is the respawn timer on this guy? Like, I just killed him like 30 seconds ago and he's back. Is this fucking Quake or something? Like, thinking like Left 4 Dead or something? Respawn timer? How am I supposed to take your story seriously? You tell me it's the final battle and then the NPC in his straight face tells you to go kill him again. It's like, alright. I kinda just did that. He's got the instant respawn cheat on. He's back again. I feel like hunting games, it's like really hard to have a story. Stuff like that. Make a big deal out of killing something and then like 20 minutes later you go in here and killing them again. It's like it's probably why most hunting games don't even try. Yeah, Critica does that a lot too. Like, Critica is a piece of shit. I can't believe that game's back with crypto bro stuff. Like NFT marketplace or some shit like that. Like, why don't you fix your game? Critica, the game itself was fun. It's just like the engine was terrible. Dude, I'm not gonna buy your crypto for the cash shop. Why don't you fix your engine first? So that it's not running at like 10 FPS in the middle of a raid against a boss that can one-shot me. Why don't you fix that first? Before you try to get Bitcoin out of people, or whatever the fuck it's called now. Critica coin. What the hell are they doing? Like, fix the engine or make a new game, like... They just keep beating the zombified corpse of that game non-stop. I just don't get it. Better off just making a new game at that point. Clearly don't want to fix the engine, but they're trying to sucker money out of people. It's weird. Didn't like Cyberpunk and Avengers prove that people aren't willing to put up that shit anymore? Cyberpunk took forever to load and ran like garbage on PS4. People hated it. They had to fucking take the game off the store, like, give you refunds. Like, I don't get why the Critica guys don't understand that. It's weird. Plus, when a game has come back, like, what, like, 3 times in the past couple years, that doesn't give people a lot of confidence either. They're doing full wipes every time, too. I don't think you carry over anything from the reboot version of the last one. Pretty sure it's a fresh start again. Closers isn't doing too hot either, but at least they let you keep the stuff from the other version. They gave you a full character transfer. It's like, alright, it sucks that this game shut down, but you know, we're gonna respect the fact that you invested time and money and give you all that shit back. Critica is just like, nope, we're just gonna wipe the game again. It's like, yeah, well, you've done that like 3 times now, so why would I even consider playing that again? I have plenty of other stuff to play. I don't know what the hell that company is doing. You'd think they'd have, like, at least some kind of hint at a new game. Like, hey, we know Critica is decrepit and old and barely functions, but, you know, here's this new game we're working on. Nope. Didn't that happen with the Avengers as well? Like, they got bought out. The company that made Avengers got bought out. It's like, clearly they didn't buy them out to try to fix that shit game. Like, how much longer are they going to support that game? It's a lost cause. I'm sure the people that publisher that bought them doesn't want them to keep working on that game. They want something that's less critically maligned. So I'm surprised that game is still up, really. Like, how much money can it be making? Are there that many people thirsty for Marvel Cinematic Universe skins? I don't get how it's still up. They've added, like, barely any content. I think the last major thing they added was Spider-Man. Spider-Man is only on PlayStation. If you're on any of the other 5 platforms that's on, you haven't had anything. There was There's definitely some fun to be had with that game, but it was so poorly designed.
必ず救い出してみせる。敵は風をされた。自然は右往の潮。俺に策が乗ってくれるか。やらなきゃな。してみせるわ。あなたの策に。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
There's a great review on the Critica page, and it just says something like, "I'm sure it will work this time." Like, yeah, that says it all right there. Fourth time's the charm. DFO only came back once, and it's been up for like almost 8 years now. You can't even make that kind of comparison. And that was pretty much just a case of the Nexon was incompetent and they ran that game into the ground, and then the people that actually already make the game as it is started working on it. So it takes a lot less time to get updates and actually know what the fuck they're doing. That game hasn't had anything that bad happen. やらなきゃダメなんだ。ダメなんだ。ダメなんだ。おお、ここにも美女がいるではないか。わしのものにしてやるぞ。I hate this mode so much. It's so boring. I think I'm just gonna use a mod to just get all this stuff. I hate this mode. It's boring. There's no depth to it. You just do the same thing over and over. I hate it. I wish they would remove this mode and put a better one in. You can't see anything that's going on, and you just get killed by nothing. Wish they just had a save transfer. I don't want to do this again. That's why I haven't felt like playing this. I hate this mode, and everyone's so fucking in love with it. It's boring. You just push the same button over and over, and there's no reason not to. They just start walking through everything. Why can't I tag or do anything fun? People are in love with this mode. This mode sucks. Boring. And the good thing about it is the moves. That's it. Completely devoid of death or fun. I wish 4 had a better endgame mode that this game did. I would probably never touch this. People love this mode. It's just nothing to it. It's boring. Because people don't want to actually do the combat depth in this game. They just want to push one button. I guess if you want to do that, it just gets old fast. Why should you just get one shot? So it's like, why would you not do this? It's stupid not to. Just wish these games would be good again. Asaro would come back. These games have not been good for a while. They're just getting worse and worse. It's like they don't have the right people making them anymore. That's why I've been playing other stuff. I've been disappointed. I used to get so excited for Muso games, but now they're just not good anymore. Samurai Warriors 5 is a piece of shit. It was supposed to be their big reboot. That game sucked balls. Almost no redeeming qualities. Capcom's too busy making 8 million Resident Evil games to ever do Basara again. I'm sick and tired of that franchise. Give it a rest for 1 year. Not even have to make another Basara game, just like something else. How many times do they need to redo Resident Evil 4? Just let that game rest. It's on everything. Where's Basara? Where's Final Fight? Where's anything besides Monster Hunter, Ace Attorney, Street Fighter, and Resident Evil? It used to be like my favorite company. Now they like make very few games I play. I'm just playing this boring mode that everybody loves so much. Zero fun. And I have to do it to get the drops, because there's no mods to do it. If there was mods to do this, I would just put it on in a heartbeat. This mode just fries my brain. It's boring. I just play these for different reasons than other people. I just get bored doing this. The only fun part is that's it. The gameplay sucks. It's going alright, how are you? I don't know, to be fair, I literally just did this grind again back in like May and June, so that's part of it. Well, if it hadn't been like more than 2 months since I last did this, I probably would have some fun with it, but I always have had that criticism of this mode. It's just depth-wise, it's really boring. But yeah, I bought this on Switch and I played through the whole game again because I didn't think they were ever gonna put this on anything else. They didn't even hype this up at all. They just like dropped it like 2 weeks ago. It's like, oh hey, here's the game. Like what? Thought it would be like the normal game thing where it's like, oh, winter 2023 or something. Like, you can't really get too excited for it because you don't know when it's gonna come. But no, it's just like, no, it's out. It's out right now. Well, if anything, it's my fault. It's my fault because I stubbornly bought this on Switch and dumped it for the emulator and then played it more, like 80 hours of it. And then they put this out randomly. Dynasty Warriors 6 sucks. It's a shit game. The only good thing about it is the dodge canceling and the soundtrack. So like the only redeeming qualities of that game. The soundtrack is really good. I'm playing one of the tracks from that game right now. Actual game sucks. I think it was part of the decline of Dynasty Warriors. That game caused so much damage to the brand. It took them what, like, when did that game come out? It came out like 07 in Japan. So yeah, it took like 6-7 years for them to fix the damage of that game. Like the fact that they cut so many characters and then they did the clones and then they scrapped the combat and went back to the charge system. Like, that game really fucked up Dynasty Warriors in my opinion. It took them a long time to recover. Basically like 2 more mainline installments and then Extreme Legends and Empires for all of them to fix the problems of that game. It was a stupid idea. If anything, they should have stuck with that combat and made it better, but I don't know, the teams that make these games, they don't take criticism very well. Whenever they get panned for doing something, they just scrap it completely. I actually thought that the combat system had potential, but they threw it all away. Well, Samurai Warriors 3 was out around that time. It's definitely it was a better game. Although Samurai Warriors has the problem of old-ass movesets. You're kind of tired of using at that point. It wasn't too bad by that point. By the time this game came out, I was really tired of those movesets. In Dynasty Warriors 6, a lot of people don't realize how much that game screwed up Dynasty Warriors as a series. It wasn't irreparable damage. They did come back and they made 7 and 8, which were good games. Although I don't agree with going back to the charge system. They should have stuck with it. Stuck with that red system and like made it better. It had potential, but I never got to see it. I don't know, when they get panned for doing anything with Russo, they just stop completely. They just give up. You don't even try to, like... Okay, maybe this wasn't so great the first time, but... You know, if we get another game or two to fix it, maybe it could be something really solid. They can actually work on it. They don't do that with these games. Basically threw out all their work for 6. Pretty much nothing from that game stuck. Until 9 came out. 9 has some of the combat mechanics that 6 had. But you know, those games are like a fucking decade apart, so those games are like 11 years apart from each other. 9's combat kind of has the same problem. I thought 9's combat was good. It's just movesets were kind of all the same. They didn't really have a lot of uniqueness or variety to them. Most of them were pretty much exactly the same as the others. The game got kind of old to play really fast, and the clones didn't help either. I hope they don't throw away that combat system either. I think it has potential. They're probably going to announce Dynasty Warriors 10 this year, and it's probably going to have, like, nothing. None of the good stuff from 9. Like the fact that the charge system was gone. I really like that. judging how 9 is like a repeat of 6. The game was like critically maligned by like both reviewers, professional journalists and stuff, and then also you know, the fans like me. I don't see them keeping anything from that game. I'd be shocked if they did. I just wish they would stop thinking their games are objectively bad, and it's like more like there's certain aspects of the games that make them really suck, but not everything about them is bad. You know, 6 has great music. It was a pretty big graphical advancement too. The graphics look more realistic, stuff like that. The dodge canceling was cool. The counters were cool. Oh, nope, they threw all that away. You didn't see any of that stuff for another 10 years. It's pretty nuts when you think about it. Like how many games they put out between 6 and 8. Like, none of that stuff made it. Not even in the spin-offs. You know, I could say the same thing about DMC, the reboot. I actually thought the controls in that were a lot easier on the hands than the mainline DMC games. But, you know, the game was maligned, so they threw all that out. DMC kind of did that as well. The difference is DMC had much better overall gameplay, but that game kind of had the same thing. There were some good things about the DMC. It wasn't all bad. Just the marketing for it was terrible. It felt like they wanted fans to like not buy the game. The stuff that the director said was like stupid. Like, how does this guy still have a job? Like, I get that not everybody likes everything they work on, especially when you're in the game industry and it's other people, you know, the publishers and stockholders and stuff are like deciding what games you make instead of what you actually want to make. But don't tell people that. Try to have some enthusiasm for the product. People aren't going to be on board if you're basically going around saying that, you know, the original Dante was lame. Like, how can you say something like that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm doing okay, how are you? Just chilling. Looks like this map's almost tapped out. Got a bunch of good drops. Probably go finish it after this squad over here.
なきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。なんとかな。
Wow, got some good stuff. Yes, to answer your question, Dynasty Warriors 6, if nothing else, is a bad game because of how much damage it caused.
皆様に調べていただきたいことがございます。
And you consider that there's other series that have had really bad games too, and they recover a lot faster. You know, there's been bad Halos, there's been bad Call of Duties, there's been bad Assassin's Creeds, but you know, they put out, you know, the next one is usually a lot better. The problem with Dynasty Warriors 6 is they discarded a lot of stuff just to make 6, and then the game was not well received, so they scrapped all that shit again to make 7 and go back to the charge system, which was just more of the same problem. A lot of clones, for one. Characters got cut. I just actually think 7 is a pretty good game, but it definitely suffered. What's wrong with Sunbreak? Actually, I'm pretty sure I know what you think is wrong with it. The other thing that's wrong with Sunbreak is, you have to play for like a good 10 hours to get access to the new moves, which is like one of the biggest things they added in that game. But no, you have to play for like a good 10 hours. You have to get almost to the end of the story, which I think is pretty stupid. So you can't even like really give that expansion a really fair impression until you do that. And it gets kind of boring. I guess it depends on how much you played the base game. Yeah, I'd argue that playing in like multiplayer and not dying, it takes like, I don't know, 7 to 10 hours. The pacing is pretty bad. Because honestly, past that point, there's really not much left. There's just weapons and armor. They do have some new stuff on the armor, but it's weird that, like, the biggest selling point of that game, you have to grind a long time, and by the time you do, the story's almost over. There's only, like, a chapter and a half of story left. I mean, obviously it's a hunting game, so you'll probably get way more time after you unlock those new silk binds, but it's still pretty shitty pacing. A lot of people are complaining about it. Should have been like maybe the first chapter after you've done like a little bit of the harder rank. They should have just given you all that stuff. It's pretty whack. That game does not respect your time in that regard. I get that it's a grindy game by nature, but they have those new moves. They were hyping those up so much, and they don't tell you, like, well, you buy this expansion and you gotta do, like, a ton of story. It's a shame, really.
また来てくれよ。
皆様に調べていただきたいことがございます。
Wouldn't be the first game I played like that, where they, withhold something fun from you. And it's like the game gets so much better when you have it, but they really want you to suffer until you get it. It's like, yeah, this game would have been a lot more fun if you, you gave that to me right away. Or at least, like, after a understandable amount of time, like, doing a couple of the monsters. Your gear's not useless. You'll get better stuff. I know some people said that some of the armor from the post-launch content, some of that stuff is good until, like, all the way through. Holy shit, somebody wrote an entire moveset for almost every character. I'm like, dude, that is an excessive amount of work. It doesn't need to be explained in such intense detail, but you do you, I guess. Like, wow. I don't know if you needed to go through that much trouble. Little excessive. What's up, Cyan? How you doing? I played Dead or Alive. Last one I played was 2. Long ass time ago. Last Dead or Alive I played was 2.
皆様に調べていただきたいことがございます。皆様に調べていただきたいことがございます。
Kingdom Hearts 3 moveset mod. Has there been any big new mods for that? I haven't looked into that stuff in a while. Got too many other games to play. I would be playing Stranger in Paradise, but I feel like they don't deserve any more of my money for shipping that horrible PC port and not fixing it. It's been like 5 months. Like, that game was kind of fun, but that PC port just sucked all the fun out of it. I don't want to give it any more money. And plenty of games to play that don't run that badly. I'll have to look. It's looking like next month I probably won't be playing too many new games. It seems like too much is coming out next month. It's PGR and whatever I don't finish this month. I have 9 Ultima Awakened characters on PGR. I got 9S. I got 9S Ultima Awakened. I'm working on 2B right now. Probably be like another week. I got what's that guy's name? No, 8-2 is the chick, right? The other guy, 9S. I got his weapon. The only weapon I'm missing is 2Bs, which I'm working on right now. Probably buy a cash pack. I should get it, hopefully.
らなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。やらなきゃダメなんだ。
How many movesets are you working on? Not really knowledgeable on Kingdom Hearts. I only played the mainline installments. I tried Birth by Sleep. I thought the combat in that game was trash. I played it for like an hour, like 3 hours. Like, yeah, this game does not feel good. So never played it again. I thought it was just me, so I do have pretty high standards for me. Like, everybody says that game is not great gameplay-wise. It's kind of sad what happened to Kingdom Hearts, really. They had such momentum with the first 2 games, and then they started getting that other team to make them. And the games just got, like, worse. On one hand, it's like it's a good thing it took so long for 3 to come out, because, you know, technology advanced to the point where graphics could be better, they could have more enemies on screen and stuff. But at the same time, it must have been pretty sad being a hardcore Kingdom Hearts fan. It's like, it probably felt like Square didn't care to like make another console game. It wasn't so much that they were on mobile either, handheld. It's just that the games were straight up worse. I'm surprised they announced Kingdom Hearts 4 so fast. I thought that they were gonna feel like they learned from their mistakes. It's like Kingdom Hearts 3 is like, there's no way they could please everybody because it took them so long. You know, the game was pretty well received. It's cool that like this time, all right, we're not gonna waste your time with more bad handheld games. Like, we're gonna give you a real sequel. Game is probably still like 2 years away, but the fact that they announced it and showed gameplay so quickly is pretty cool. I think they did say that they showed that game earlier than they wanted to because of the 20th anniversary, but at least it's coming. It's not going to be a bunch of random low-quality spin-offs for 10 years. I doubt that game is coming anytime soon. Come on, spawn some officers, please.
ダメなんだ
So how does Kingdom Hearts modding work?
俺と勝負だダメなんだ覚悟しろ
Is it like Marvel 3 where you can't actually make new animations, or can you actually put like new stuff in the game? That's what I'm curious about. So I know the biggest limitations with Marvel modding is you can't add more character slots, and you can't make new animations. So you can make anything you want. Oh wow, that's really cool. It's quite a bit ahead of where they're at with Marvel 3 right now. Oh yeah, I know that. I was just using that as a comparison.
骨ごと噛み砕いてくれやらなきゃダメなんだやらなきゃダメなんだこれぐらいにしといてやらなきゃダメなんだここかやらなきゃダメなんだ
That's really sick. I'll have to check that out.
やらなきゃダメなんだその首やらなきゃダメなんだいた引かざるを得ぬかやらなきゃダメなんだ受けてみよう行くぞやらなきゃダメなんだやらなきゃダメなんだ受けてみようやらなきゃダメなんだやらなきゃダメなんだやらなきゃダメなんだやらなきゃダメなんだ
The amount that they've done with Marvel 3 with all those limitations is insane. They pretty much added like almost every character